friends. I am Dr. Vikram Jaggi. I am the Medical Director of Asthma, Chest and Allergy Centers at Delhi and Gurgaon. These are highly specialized centers dealing with asthma and allergy, where asthma and allergies are looked at in their totality, right from diagnosis to treatment to alternative systems, research, etc. And today we are going to discuss the usual queries of patients with asthma particularly, but also with allergy, the kind of questions they usually ask the doctor. These few questions I have sort of created from my experience with dealing with asthma and allergy patients for the last 14 or 15 years or so. Many times the question patients ask is, Doctor Sir, what is asthma and what is allergy? And are they the same thing or is there any difference? See, they are the two sides of the same coin. Asthma is a kind of allergy. Allergies is a broader term. Allergy could be is a tendency to be overreactive or oversensitive to certain things which are normally present in the environment. For example, pollens, fungal spores, dust, danders, many medicines, certain foods. Most of these people are exposed to them, but they don't react to them because they are not allergic. But a person who has an allergy, when he is exposed to these things, he will have a reaction because he is hypersensitive to these very things. Let's take an example. Allergy of the nose, runny nose, blocked nose, sneezing, etc., allergic rhinitis, what it is called, is a kind of allergy of the nose. Allergies of the skin could take the shape of urticaria or eczema or certain rashes. Now that's an allergy of the skin. But when the allergy occurs in the air tubes, in the form of wheezing, of cough, tightness in the chest, etc., that is asthma. So allergy is a broad area. Asthma is an allergy of the air tubes. They are not exactly different. When somebody doesn't like the word asthma, somebody might use the word allergy or allergic bronchitis, but really speaking, they are the same thing. Many times it is written in the newspapers, etc., about an asthma or allergy epidemic, that asthma is increasing and increasing at alarming rates. It is indeed true that asthma and allergies are indeed increasing at a very alarming rate in most countries of the world, especially where development is taking very fast. Today, asthma is maximum in New Zealand, in UK, and in Australia. India so far is a little down in that list, but we are soon catching up. What are the reasons? The reasons are, as far as I can see, our wrong way of living, our artificial or so-called Western way of living, which means eating the wrong kind of things, fried stuff, junk food, things with preservatives, things with color, and not eating the natural kind of things, raw fruits, vegetables, etc. Too much exposure to house dust and fungi in the form of carpeting, closed doors all the time, closed windows all the time, too many stuffy toys in the house, etc. And not the right kind of immune stimulation in the form of too much hygienic living, not having cats and dogs in the house. Early use of antibiotics. At the drop of a hat, every infection is killed by an antibiotic, so that the immune system doesn't develop in a proper way and starts moving towards the allergic way. Since it has got no work to do, it just misbehaves. Whatever thing which comes in contact with it, it starts reacting to that. It's said that an empty mind is a devil's workshop. So something like that. Pollution, of course, is an important area which is increasing asthma. Asthma in Delhi nowadays is about 3 to 4 times more common than it was about 20 or 30 years ago. In children, asthma in Delhi is about 15%, which means out of 7 kids, 1 child will have asthma. Earlier, Maybe in a class of 30 or 40 you would have one asthmatic, or maybe not even that. Now in a typical class you will find 5 or 6 asthmatics. It's very common. In adults the same situation is there. It is estimated by WHO that asthma is increasing every decade in most countries by about 50%. And if we continue to do that, you can imagine how much asthma is going to be prevalent. So yes, it is increasing, and it is increasing alarmingly, and we must be aware and take steps towards that. The next aspect is, what are the typical symptoms of asthma? How should a person know that he may have asthma? Or what happens in an asthma patient? What symptoms does he expect? What does he have? See, there is a typical case of asthma, which is coughing, which is wheezing, which is tightness in the chest, which is shortness of breath. These are typical cases. This cough and wheezing will occur mostly at night, mostly in the early morning hours. It is associated with change of season. It gets exacerbated when there is an exposure to smoke, perfume, smells, tadka smell, etc. When there is some major dusting going on, major painting going on in the house, paint, varnish, etc., etc. These are typical cases of asthma. But there are cases which are a little atypical or different. The old saying is that diseases, they don't read textbooks. They behave in their own funny and peculiar way. So we have atypical patients also, for example, only coughing. Now these are sometimes difficult to diagnose. This is particularly true in small children. They will not complain of shortness of breath or wheezing, etc. They will only have coughing as the first manifestation of asthma, which particularly happens when they play, when they run about. They just stop and they start coughing. So that is a clue. Another area where there is sometimes some problem about diagnosis is very elderly people, because they have so many other reasons which can make them cough or wheeze. For example, taking certain medicines, for example blood pressure medicines. Some of them are notorious for causing cough. They may be an old smoker. So we don't know whether it is smoking related bronchitis or whether it is asthma, and it is important to make an exact diagnosis for a proper treatment to occur. So sometimes there are some diagnostic difficulties, but by and large the diagnosis of asthma is quite straightforward. When a doctor who knows what asthma looks like, he sits down with the patient and takes a detailed history. More often than not, he is almost certain that this is a case of asthma. Further investigations are only required to confirm the diagnosis. So how do we confirm that diagnosis? As I said, important thing is to take a very accurate history. Is it asthma? What brings it on? Which seasons? Which months are good months? Which months are bad months? How severe is the asthma can be found out by talking to the patient. What is the extent of his disability? Is he able to sleep through the night? Is he able to walk upstairs with ease? So these are some of the things which have to be looked into. Then the second aspect of diagnosis is it truly asthma or is it something else? Here we would like to do a lung function test, a spirometry. That's a test in which you breathe into a machine, and whatever you are breathing in and breathing out is all measured. The air is measured. So you measure the lung capacities and you measure the air flows. In asthmatics, the air flows are very reduced. For example, this is a normal airflow. An asthmatic would breathe like. So in the same duration of time, he is able to breathe out much less. So his rate of blowing out air is reduced. These can all be tracked down on a graph, something like this. What is expected to be normal? What are the value the patient has? And what percentage of normal are that? And some graphs can be plotted. This tells us the extent of the obstruction, whether the obstruction is in the big tubes, mid-sized tubes, small tubes, and more